What's good, everybody? Happy Wednesday evening, Buckeye Scoop family, Buckeye Nation. Hope all is well. Do me a favor, hit that like button. Y'all know what to do. Like. Get the algorithming. Also, if you have not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. Hit the bell notification so that you get, pop ups like whenever we go live. It'll pop up on your device to let you know we are going in. Listen, another day of the portal. It's Wednesday. We are in the thick of it. We got a new commitment. We're going to talk about it. And is it massive to you or not? It depends on the person you talk to. But also, we're going to talk about all the other portal buzz, all the ins and outs. It's been a lot, but we're going to dive into it. Also, remember, when you send those wonderful super chats, helps to go toward the Pay It Forward, which is our military and our first responders. We're going to look out for them because they always look out for us. And I'm going to say it again, us, for the comment I saw the other day. Funky, what's up? Funky's back. Nevada is doing his Nevada, San Diego, traveling the globe. So we got the pleasure of having Funky Buck in the house once again. What's up, brother?
What's up, B? Yeah, I'm excited to be filling in for, Nevada. And just some extra good news. We're on Apple Podcasts. We got our interface fixed up and we're back on Apple Podcasts. So for those listening, you'll see this show on Apple Podcasts, Spreaker, and all the other audio forms. So that's the good news I have that I don't even think B knew was aware of until I just said this out right now. But yeah, no, I'm excited to be here, and I'm very excited to talk about the new commitment for Ohio State because we got a real good player, a real good proven player who runs allegedly a 4.3 40. So lightning fast. I mean, that's faster than Olave and Garrett Wilson did in their combines, or Olave. I'm forgetting what Garrett Wilson ran, but in my opinion, a really
Yeah, for sure. And listen, I like this pickup a lot. 4.3 and a 40. He has production, he has numbers. I mean, like we've had big receivers with some good speed, some move the chains type of guys who aren't that fast. Well, this guy is someone we've been asking for, have we not? Like, if you just look at the numbers, let me pull it up. So he 65 receptions, 726 yards, 8 touchdowns, 11.2 average. And again, he has real speed. And so there's some people, Funky, who are poo-pooing this because of the school he comes from, which is just not a good idea. He's a 3-star. He was a 3-star out of high school. Okay? You have to understand, some of these kids, they go into college and they blossom late and they perform and they're able to go into, the portal and get picked up by bigger schools. So just because, don't get focused on the 3-star from high school, because they develop and sometimes they just develop late. And we weren't the only big school wanting him. Okay. So this kid is good. Regardless of what some people are saying, he is going to play. They're not bringing him in to just be on the bench. All right. Somebody said he was Jaden Ballard 2.0. I asked him, can you explain why? And they gave me some slick response that wasn't an answer. So listen, man, in the portal, first of all, here's the question, Funky, for all the people as we think about the portal. Who's in the portal? Number one, when you have wants and needs and things like that, who's in the portal? Okay, that's the first question. Secondly, those people in the portal, how do they fit with your system, your culture? What's their production, et cetera, et cetera? Ohio State is not just randomly throwing darts at a board to try to get players. Like they're scouting, evaluating, et cetera. This kid has real speed. He has production. He will play. He will be in the rotation at minimum playing. That is the goal. And I'm excited about it because we need twitchy, open field, break you down type of athleticism and speed. And this is what this guy provides. Funky, what you got on that?
And I agree. We're looking to add portal pieces that could fit into the culture and fit positions of need. And one could say our biggest position of need at wide receiver going in the next year is, a real down the field speed guy. Because you can look at our roster. We have Jeremiah Smith, who's all the above. we have Chris Henry Jr. coming in, who is a you know glorified tight end almost. I mean, he's like what 6'7" is he now? Like a legit 6'6" at least. Just big
Yeah.
body, obviously fast. But when you're that height, you're gonna have issues. Obviously making real separation. You got to real be good with your body, real good be real good with your hands, making good contested catches. And then Brandon Ennis is a speed guy in the slot, or someone could really open up the defense and get open, or like you're showing some screens, bubble screens, then you need to get another guy. And this is exactly why we got him. And what does this mean for our wide receiver coach? This is our wide receiver coach's first wide receiver addition since he's been on the roster. So I have the right to change my mind, but I'm going to give him a fresh slate and just expect that he knows what he's doing and that he's going to go and get his guys. And yeah, but it's a test. It's a test for him. If this guy goes and fails for us, then this new wide receiver coach would be 0 for 1. But I'm going to go into it thinking positive, and I really do think that he nailed his first get for Ohio State, and I'll be excited to watch him play next fall for us.
Yeah, I think that's good. That makes a lot of sense. I just think people right now, if it's not the biggest name in the portal or the biggest splash, it's just being poo-pooed. And so, it's just what's going to happen. It's the same thing with recruiting, with stargazing. Yes, you want to have the 5 stars and all other stuff because typically the 5 and 4 stars, are the ones who I guess on average will pan out more. Although we know 3 stars galore have panned out, but it's the same thing with the stargazing with the portal. Is again, these are guys who may have come out of high school that weren't highly rated, but now they're productive in their school. They're a standout in their school, and now it's time for them to step up to the big ranks, especially in a system, where he's not like leaned upon to be the number one guy. I think he can get in here and do some things. Imagine him catching screen passes. He can be a deep threat with his speed. Where all the attention on Jeremiah Smith. And you mentioned Chris Henry Jr. It's wild to me. I was seeing people on my thread earlier downplaying Chris Henry Jr. Like, sloppy routes. And I'm just like, what are y'all talking about? Like, honestly, what's so amazing, Funky, about Chris Henry Jr., in my opinion, is that his routes are so clean and he's so smooth at his size. I've never stood next to the kid, but everybody who has stood next to him, and Dev, did you meet Chris Henry Jr.? I
He
think
did,
you
yes.
did.
Yes.
Yeah. Mention this in the chat. He's legit 6'6". Like he's not, like in high school, before I even got to my full 6'4" height, they had me listed taller than I was. You know how in schools they would give you like an inch or two more. This ain't that. Like Chris Henry Jr. is legit 6'6" and is running routes the way he's running. And he has the ball skills of a seasoned receiver and the height to go with it and good speed. Like he's doing this against like good competition. So Chris Henry Jr. is going to come in even more so now as a freshman and play a very, very significant role. And so, I mean, Funky, would you like Jeremiah Smith? I won't say he's Jeremiah Smith level, but I think he's nipping. Isn't he kind of nipping at his heels as far as impact player ability coming in as a freshman? What you think?
I mean, as a freshman, I can't even think of a wide receiver who, I mean, he's right there. I would say he's in the Garrett Wilson tier of wide receiver,
Very
freshman
good.
wide receivers going into Ohio State. Like someone who you definitely expect to make an impact, but not the game breaking impact that Jeremiah Smith gave us. I mean, he instantly stepped into Ohio State and was the best wide receiver in the entire nation, not just on the team. He was the best receiver in the entire nation as a true freshman. Uh, but yeah, it's funny because if we didn't get Chris Henry Jr., what would the public opinion be?
Yeah.
Oh my God, he's the greatest wide receiver ever to do it. But since we
Right.
got him, it's we only have a wide receiver 2 or 3 next year. I mean, Ohio State clearly thinks Chris Henry Jr. is going to be better than Quincy Porter,
Yeah.
who was allegedly asking for double the money when he's going to be out all of spring practice. So could Quincy Porter still come back? Because when he hits the open market and he goes to these teams and hey, I won't be medically cleared until the summertime, but give me 1.5 million.
Right.
I highly doubt that. Highly doubt that. So I wouldn't be shocked if him or Mylan end up coming back because I don't know how many teams are willing to risk big time money that Ohio State is giving them. They're not playing for free at Ohio State in order, in order to come back and run it back with Ohio State. But then Ohio State goes out and gets this UTSA guy, and they're gonna, hey, who knows what they tell him after that? B. It's,
Yep.
I mean, I'm not Ohio State. I don't know what decisions they're making behind the scenes. I can only see what they're doing publicly in this sense. And they went out and got a wide receiver. They went out and got a wide receiver. So clearly they think they can get someone to fill that Mylan Graham role or the Quincy Porter role. And
Yeah.
they feel very good about, Chris Henry Jr. stepping in and being a top 2, 3 guy on the team. Brennan Ennis, Brennan Ennis is you know, he started this year for the Buckeyes. So of course he's gonna start next year. Then you also have Jeremiah Smith. So that's already two two great wide receivers, and then you hoping that Chris Henry Jr. Is as advertised. And you know who also has been balling out, who we've both known is really good, but maybe has been slightly underrated in this entire thing.
Who's that?
Guildford. So I'm gonna butcher his name. I apologize. Jaquil Guildford, the
Yes.
wide receiver from
Yeah.
Indiana. He's been balling out at these camps, and he rised a lot in the rankings. So some people, some very smart people in Indiana football, truly believe that he should be a 5-star receiver. And I know that's Ohio State looked at him. I know for a fact Ohio State had him over Caden Dixon Wyatt, and that's not sour grapes now. I
Yeah.
said this in June, or right when we're talking about the Guildford original commitment, which was sometime in June or July, I believe. So that this is not just sour grapes. That is what Ohio State had on their board, and he's proven it every step of the way. So I'm not worried about it. Someone on the board asked me just nonstop wide receiver questions, and I was like, I the, my concern for Ohio State's wide receiver room on a scale from 1 to 10, I really should have said 0 to 10, but from 1 to 10 is like a 2. I'm
Yeah.
not worried. I'm not worried who our wide receivers in 2028 are going to be. That's not just that does not bother me at all.
Yeah. No, no, I get it. And that's a good assessment because and this is why I'm showing this right now. I showed this on last night's pod. I'm showing this again. Wasn't it last night's pod, I think? This is Legend Bay. I'm showing this because Funky, with all the hand wringing and wondering, like we're talking about playmakers right now, a receiver, skill position guy. This guy is on campus. Like we talk about speed and the need for play making ability. Don't forget about this guy right here, Legend Bay. He is a guy who can come in this year, in my opinion, because again, he was brought in because I know some people think he's going to be a wide receiver, but everything we're being told is he's Curtis Samuel. Handoffs in the backfield. Yes, he'll maybe catch passes out the backfield because he's just an athlete. But this kid can come in right now and make plays. And Dev in the chat, you just read my mind. I was literally about to bring up Phillip Bell. Phillip Bell is a good receiver, number 7 for Ohio State. He's young, he's a freshman. They like him too. So we got guys. And so, yeah, I was saying this in the chat earlier, Funky, with some brothers of mine. I think over the years with recruiting, we follow recruits and we finally get them. We love them and we get attached to them. And so when we don't get to see things come to fruition, we get bummed about it, which is understandable. But we have to kind of adjust real time to the new world of college football because, like Quincy Porter, for example, in this new world, when you and your agent are asking for double, if that's true, and there's no indication that it's not based off of, there's been no debunking of that, with the lack of production that you had, with the fact that, hey, they can go get guys who are just as productive, who've already proven, and we got other guys on the roster we like. They think Chris Henry Jr. has a higher ceiling, clearly, to come in and play. Why would you overpay for a kid, even if you think he could eventually be really good. It's just a lot of moving parts and things to consider. But specifically in this room, wide receivers, yeah, there's nothing to worry about, y'all. And I'm excited about if you think whoever thinks Chris Henry Jr. is overrated or not going to come in here and be impactful, I don't know what to tell you. I just don't know what to tell you, Funky.
Yeah, I mean, you could look at I mean, we even guys like Philip Bell or a lot of people are. I mean, Brock Boyd has been widely, a lot of people say that he's the best wide
Oof,
receiver ever to come out of South Lake Carroll. I mean, that's not a quote from
that's
me.
saying a
That's
lot. That's a
quotes.
that's a powerhouse school. That's saying a
Yeah,
lot.
that's a
Yeah,
powerhouse school, and that's not coming from me. That's coming from people, in the building there, very respected people who wouldn't just throw that point around. So we have a ton of guys in the wide receiver room that I'm not worried about. Same with, I mean, Legend Bay was extremely, extremely, extremely touted from a lot of schools, and I'm excited to see what Legend Bay can do with a new environment. I'll say a new environment that probably lets him focus a little more on playing football and less about other stuff.
yeah,
So I'm really excited for the future of the Ohio State playmaker room. I'm more looking forward to see what we could really get on the defensive side in the portal. We could get zero more guys in the offensive side of the portal, and I feel like we'd be totally fine. We're looking at a top 3-1 offense in the nation next year. And I don't really think that's debatable, really. And we're
yeah,
returning a ton on the offensive line, like four out of the five starters. We're only losing one starter who was Tigra, who we know how the fans and really, at least I feel about him. And then we're probably going to return back. We'll see what Max Clare does, but there's no. I think he stays. I do think he stays. And then in the wide receiver room, the wide receivers are totally fine. And then running back room, we got Bo Jackson returning, even though some people are panicking about that because I guess we're just in a panic mood right now. We got to freak
yeah.
out about everything.
Yes, we
Everyone's
do.
leaving. We're over. It's Ohio. Even though we've won 10 games, or we've lost only 2 games, we've never lost 3 games in 14 years. There are
Yeah,
real, like 14-year-old kids who have never seen Ohio State lose more than 2 games in a single year. Realize how crazy that is? I mean, Bama lost 3 games, or they lost 4 games this year. Yeah, Bama
yeah,
lost 4 games this year. Michigan lost 4 games this year. I mean, every team loses. I mean, Miami doesn't win the Natty, they lose 3 games. So it's like every team loses 3 games. But Ohio State hasn't done it in 14 years. Probably the most insane stat I've seen in college football history.
tell
So
him, tell him, Funky,
yeah, no,
tell him.
seriously, yeah. I mean, it's true, right? I mean, that's not like crazy talk. I mean, that's unheard of. So, I mean, odds are we're going to lose 3 games soon because of the schedule we have. Like, that could mean we go 10-2 and lose in the playoffs or whatever that could possibly mean. But it's just, yeah, I mean, we'll see if we can make it one more year. Then it's, oof, I'll be just, I mean, every year it's shocking because you think about it, you have to go 11-1 in the playoffs, or sorry, 11-1 in the regular season unless you win the Natty. Then you could go 10-2. So it's either you go 11-1 and you don't win the Natty, or you go 10-2 and win the Natty. That's how you lose less than 2 games, or sorry, less than 3 games, which is just insanely hard to do. I can't
Yeah.
even. It's hard for even me to comprehend that stat.
No, you actually articulated that better than I have. I'll remind people of how consistent we are, and basically I'll say, "Hey, I'm so confident about this program and positive about this program because they've given me a reason to be because of consistency." And you just laid it out even better, in my opinion, with the specific numbers. And it's just like, yeah, again, y'all, let me remind you, last year, I mean, coming into the season, Funky, you remember this. We had rival fans, haters declaring doom, 3 or 4 losses, and another loss
Seven
to
and five, B. 7-5.
you remember, right? Like y'all think we didn't forget this. We were supposed to lose to Texas, lose to Michigan, lose to Penn State. Because remember, Penn State came in number 2, and they were finally going to get over the hump. We're going to lose to Penn State uh, at Washington.
At
I mean,
Illinois.
uh, bro. So I'm just reminding that the fascination with the doom and gloom and worst case scenario is just one hell of a drug. Like, I understand being concerned. We love Ohio State and we want to stay on top, but nobody loves Ohio State more than Ohio State and these coaches. And they're going to do what they feel like is best for the program, even when you don't think it is, but the track record says that they have. And real quick, you mentioned defense. This is a new guy on the radar, Earl Little Jr., Florida State, the leading tackler for Florida State in 2025. Picked off 4 passes and forced 2 fumbles. And so I did, outside of this post, I was able to confirm with a source that there is mutual contact, like it's mutual, like they're talking. And so Caleb Downs going to the NFL, you know, maybe this is a kid, a defender that could be really good to step in. And we still got really good guys on the roster still, y'all. And so just a reminder, okay, because the debate is, Funky, why aren't we just giving every player out there we want $2 million and just breaking it? Like, we have roster retention. We still have a really good roster compared to most schools because we recruit so well. So some schools, they literally have to go and do whatever they can do to get the portal to be competitive or whatever. Like, we still got really good kids on this team that you got to pay and keep, but then also get your needs and all the other stuff. So listen, it's midweek. The portal just opened up Friday. It's a long way to go. What you got on that, Funky? And we can actually get the super chats in a second.
Yeah, I mean, just think about what Ohio State's probably looking for in the portal. They're probably looking for a defensive lineman, probably an edge rusher. If I would have bet money, I'd bet, someone on the edge, a linebacker, and a cornerback 3 if they can't retain Aaron Scott.
Yeah.
So safety, you can also argue safety. The safety that I talked about, I'm not sure if I talked about it on the podcast, but the safety I did talk about, the kid that I knew Ohio State was in contact with, but was not officially in the portal yet, just went in the portal, safety from Vanderbilt. So Ohio State's probably looking for a sort of a box safety. And so those are the real guys Ohio State's going after. Probably a box safety, a linebacker, a defensive lineman, and then retaining Scott or getting another cornerback. So it should be just interesting to see how we do it. Because you're right, we can't just give out money to random people, and there's 4,000 people in the portal. So we got to keep it. The Ohio State has to make business decisions and see what's the best for Ohio State, and not just jumping on the first kid who enters and giving him whatever,
Right.
800K while you're paying 5 stars and like Jay Timmons and Jordan Thomas and
Right.
Jermaine Matthews and Devin
Exactly.
Sanchez only 800K. And they're like, wait, Devin Sanchez says, hey, I improved a lot. I was the #1 quarterback in the entire nation, and I'm looking to have a really good second year. And Jermaine Matthews has been borderline All-American last year. I think second team All Big Ten, if I remember correctly. And he's
Yeah.
like, I want my dough. So we're really
Exactly.
going after a cornerback 3. So AK, when we're going after a cornerback 3B, that means we have to
Exactly.
pay cornerback 3 money. We're,
Exactly.
we're not paying for a cornerback 1, while these other teams are like, wow, the cornerback 3 at Ohio State would be the cornerback 1 at Tennessee, whose secondary was just atrocious this year,
Yes.
or at another school, it's like South Carolina, or et cetera, et cetera. And when every team is playing with a similar budget, because Ohio State just playing with a similar budget, then it's like NFL. You're going to lose some guys. You're going to get some guys. Some guy's going to pay back. Malik Willis for the Packers is going to get $40 million. Would the Packers love to keep him? Sure, they would love to keep him. But does another team have a lot more use for him and going to give him, the absolute bag in the offseason? Yes, he is, and he's going to leave. This is just what stuff happens in this new salary cap world where there's a lot of teams who have 25 million.
Yeah, man. And this is why you the man. That was an excellent breakdown and perspective. And it's just the truth. But this is the stuff that some fans don't think about. Did y'all hear what this man just said? Everything he just said, that's the little nuances and specifics of details that they're dealing with. But some fans are just sitting back like, oh, we're just being cheap, we're penny pinching. And no, it's not that simple. Also, last thing, and I'm gonna get the super chats. I asked the question earlier when you're evaluating this portal situation. Question number one, who's in the portal? Who's in the portal? What are your needs? Think about it. A couple years ago, what did we do? We picked up, in my opinion, the best portal season, the highest end talent in the portal that I've seen so far. Caleb Downs, Will Howard, Quinshon Judkins, with Judkins, Downs, and Sayin being the upper tier. Will Howard was obviously one of the few worthy quarterbacks, but he wasn't like a superstar. But obviously, he was a superstar for us. But you get the point. Point is that we identified, okay, yes, these are big fish, and we need them. We want them. Here's the money. And it made sense. Like, Judkins was super worth it to really go there. Like, okay, yes, he deserves the bag. Caleb Downs obviously deserves the bag. You know what I'm saying? So who's in the portal now? This is the one thing I've been asking, Funky, to people who are whining and complaining about certain things. I asked them, who in the portal right now should Ohio State be getting that you feel like is at the level that you're whining about? They can't answer. They don't have an educated response. Like, I respect it. If you came back and said, this kid right here is a dog, boom, 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 here's his stats, whatever, he's rated this. They never do that. They're just sitting back on their couch whining because they're not impressed with the names that they see coming across the board or the position, even though the guys who are coming in is not an indicator of the priority of the staff. It's an indicator of the kids that are ready to commit to their offers. Okay? They're not saying, hey, we think a long snapper is more important than a corner. That's not what's happening. But you would think fans, that's how fans are responding. And it's just exhausting, y'all. It's just like, grow up. Let's be adults here. Have we not watched college football and listen, I know this transfer portal stuff is new, but come on, man. Use some critical thinking, Funky.
Exactly. I mean, you're totally right. And we talk about it all the time. How many wide receivers play at Ohio State B? Like, how many receivers even step on the field? 3?
Three or
We're
four.
lucky we'll see a 4.
Yep.
And we have Chris Henry Jr., who's going to see the field, Jeremiah Smith, who's going to see the field, Brandon Ennis is going to see the field. So that's 3 right there already. So it's just like stuff like that's ridiculous. So people are like, why are you not worried about Quincy Porter or Mylan Graham leaving? And I'm like, Ohio State, I've seen these kids for 2 years and 1 year, respectively. And Quincy Porter's out for 4 or 5 months. He won't play at all in the spring. So why would they pay him? He's not going to see the field this year, B. He isn't. So, and I'm focused on 1 year at a time, just 1 year at a time. We're having good retention, getting pieces we need in the portal, and moving on. Because you're right, there's no one as good as Caleb Downs or Quinshon Judkins in the portal right now. There isn't. The Cincinnati quarterback got paid like $5 million.
Overpaid. They overpaid.
Yeah. Oh my God. Like
That's what I'm saying.
I'm not
Desperation.
Sure,
we don't have to do that.
We don't have to. LSU like going after Desmond Williams and try to getting him out of his contract and all this silly crap. Ohio State doesn't want to play that silly crap. Those aren't the guys we want. There's a reason why we still recruit at the high school level at a very high level, because we like developing players and seeing our players. All we've seen from Mylan Graham has been really bad. That's a fact. Besides for like the spring game, which we know is kind of silly, but in games and clearly from not seeing the field. I mean, David Adolph saw the field over Mylan Graham multiple times this year in real times, not senior game times, but real times. Right. So I trust our coaching staff in this. And if you think Ohio State like doesn't know what they're doing, then then you're either like 1 year old, childish, or just kind of sad, really, kind of be really negative. Because anyone who's been alive for the last 25 years has literally never seen Ohio State fail with a head coach, with an official head coach.
That's true. Very, very true. Great points, man. And so let's go ahead and hop into the super chats. Stilly Matt, what's up, brother? Thanks for the 199. B Moses and Funky Buck, Scoop Legends. Thank you, sir. You're too kind. Again, for those who are new to the show, me and Funky had a show every Sunday for about a year. It was great times, built a lot of rapport and just connection. Great dude. And it was dope to finally meet him in person and all that some months ago. So thank you, Stilly Matt. What you got on that, Funk?
Yep. Appreciate you, Steely, as always, and thanks for tuning in like every single day, like actually every single day. And it does
Yeah.
not go unnoticed. And everyone in the scoop appreciates you.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely, man. I mean, it's definitely sticks out because in today's world, not to go on some long TED talk, but in today's world, finding like consistency, loyalty, and just solid cats is just very hard. It's difficult. So
Tell me that
still,
again, B. I know.
yeah. So Stilly Matt stands out in that regard, and so we definitely appreciate you, bro. All right, Geo Dit, another solid cat. Thanks for the 5. B Moses and Funky. I used to laugh at Miami fans. They're absolutely insufferable now, especially on X. I had to shred one on X today, shaking my head. Geo Dit, do you follow me on X? Follow me, and I'll follow you back if I haven't already, and I'll come to the post and take a look at it. But yeah, so Miami fans, listen. This is how I see it. I know they're happy. They beat us. Okay. Um, and good for them. They came to play. We did not play our best game, and we lost the game. Okay. With that said, we played twice since that 2003 game. We split home and home. We won at home, and they beat us in Miami. So this whole get back, we got our lick back thing is not really, is it really equivalent to what we did? Because here's the thing, even though they just beat us, the fact that we broke them in 2003 does not change. That's a fact. Now they feel like they're unbroken now. They gotten over the hump, which is their prerogative. But in my opinion, Funky, they got to win the Natty to really get their lick back. When we hit y'all and won that game, and should have been in a victory formation if they would have called holding on Chris Gamble and completion inbounds, then there was no supposed controversial PI or nothing. Ball game. All right. We hoisted the national championship trophy. You won a Cotton Bowl. That's great. But listen, you talking to the Buckeyes. We just ripped off 4 straight top 10 wins, Cotton Bowl trophy, Rose Bowl, at the crib versus Tennessee, whatever. So you got to win the Natty if you really want to make this equivalent as far as getting your lick back. That's my opinion. Great win for y'all because you haven't really won anything of substance for a long time, and that's not me trolling. That's a fact. That's just true. And they're gonna get mad at me, Funky. They're gonna get mad at me,
It,
but I'm telling the truth. Am I not telling the truth, Funky?
I mean, you are. And if you don't win the Natty, literally no one cares. Literally
Exactly.
just goes down as another, a good season. And then, but no one cares.
Yep.
Literally, no, like not a single person cares who talks about like, I mean, there's so many Ohio State teams who were really good who didn't win the Natty. And we kind of just, oh, yeah, good team. Like 2006, 2007. Like,
Yep.
besides for the Michigan game, do we literally talk about any game? I can't even remember one game from the in between those 2 years combined. B, I can literally only remember one game, and that's the game. That's the 1 versus 2
Yeah.
game, and
Yep.
because Bo Schembechler died before the game, and whatever. I heard that whole story, but besides for that one game, B, literally can't name you one other game played in that entire season. So if you don't win the Natty, no one cares. Literally, no one
Yep.
cares. So, and I mean, trust me, I don't agree with that totally, but it's a very true fact. And we talked about it last year. We're like, hey, if we don't beat Notre Dame, then this historic run
Right.
just kind of goes in the history book as a what could have been. No one
Yep.
cares that we went 12-0 this year and beat Michigan. They really
Yep.
don't. People do not really care. And I mean, do I agree? Yeah, probably not. But people don't care. They just don't. So
Yep.
I won't like if they don't win the Natty, then this will go in 10 years. We won't even know Miami beat us. We'll completely forget about it. It'll be just a thing of our imagination.
Yep. You got to finish. Period. That's my point. Congratulations on the win. I know it felt good. We've been looming over your head for 2 decades, and you haven't been the same since we beat you in the desert. But if you don't win the Natty, what does it really amount to? That is my message, and to me, you can't really debate that with any sound logic. So there's that. All right, Carlos Washington, thanks for being a Scoop Ultra member. Thanks for the 4.99. Everyone needs to take a deep breath and relax. We will be fine. OH Funky, is he coming in? OH Funky.
Io. Hi.
There you
Can
go.
you hear me?
I hear
Okay,
you.
okay.
I hear you. It
I
was
was
it was a
speaking
little
before that,
delay.
B.
You
Yeah,
said what?
I was speaking before that, and I was
Oh,
maybe
you
I
were
was
on
on
mute.
mute.
Got
Yeah.
you. Yeah. So no, I agree, Cars. Yeah. I mean, that's the really the message. It's just I don't know, man. Um, I go back and forth a little because I'm a fan as well. I mean, you're not going to find too many more big, bigger fans than me. So I understand the passion, but I don't care what I'm doing, what capacity it's in. I try to, I try not to be led only by emotion, but I'm a very logical, analytical dude as far as like, hey, let's step back and use some critical thinking. I say that a lot. I don't care what it is. Fandom, making decisions in life. That's just what I try to do. And it's just like some of our fans just they get caught up in the emotion of it and the negativity and they just wallow in it. And it can be a little exhausting at times. What you got, Funky? You might
Ridiculous,
be on
B.
mute. There you go. There
Hello,
you go.
hello. It might be ridiculous, B. It just, yeah. I mean, people need to relax. Just relax. Try the people making the big money are making these decisions, and they've yet to do us wrong ever. So,
Yeah.
will this be the year where we finally go 10-2 and don't win the Natty? It might be. It could be. It very well could be. If we go 10-2 with the schedule we have next year, then damn, we have a really good football team. Because if you're looking at it objectively, there's 5 games on that schedule that you're like, we could
Yeah.
lose that. We very well could lose that. And then other games like, at Iowa or at Nebraska, that won't be like walk in the parks either. So
Yeah.
uh, it's going to be a battle every single year. And yeah, so we just got to trust the people that have been making the right decisions for years and years now. So, but yeah, people, of course, people are like this though. I'm not shocked. It's like the least shocking thing of all time. So we have a really bad loss to Miami because we, threw a pick six and missed a field goal, and they made their 50-plus yard field goal, and they had 2 fumbles that bounced on the ground and went right back up to the player. It didn't go the other way. If one of those balls, like did in the Georgia game, bounces into the Ohio State player, and we run it for 7, and we win that game, then all of a sudden we wanted it more, and oh, they had an amazing coaching job, and oh, we were so well prepared. But since that didn't happen, it's it's over. We're going back to, or not back to irrelevancy, but we're going to be irrelevant, et cetera, et cetera.
Didn't you hear, Funky? The new narrative is Coach Day. It wasn't his coaching last year that got him the Natty. It was just talent. We just had the talent. No credit for Coach Day in the coaching last year. So sucks for him. All right, let's move on. Austin, thanks for the 4.99. Chaz follows us on Instagram, but not LSU or Tennessee. Does that mean anything? The OSU Instagram page follows Chaz as well. I don't think it means anything, but the more important thing is that we haven't received any conflicting information from our show on Monday when we said Chaz Coleman will be a Buckeye. So it's just a matter of time and processing and things behind the scenes. But Funky, what's your response to this on Coleman?
I mean, before Chaz even entered the portal, we literally I got a text saying that if Chaz enters the Chaz from someone really close to Chaz, that he's probably going to enter the portal, and when he does, he's going to Ohio State. So Ohio State's always been number one on his list, and he's trying to find reasons to go to Ohio State. So I don't think that's exactly something super meaningful, but it kind of shows his intentions. Like he's grew up an Ohio State fan. He wants to play at Ohio State. He'd rather stay in the Midwest in the Big Ten. So he's trying to find reasons to go to Ohio State and not the opposite. And also, B, I just got to bring this up. I didn't know that we just got completely outcoached by Miami, just completely manhandled when we like outgain them. So that's the first time I've ever seen a team
Yeah.
outgain the other team, but somehow just get manhandled, outcoached, and they just have way better. I mean, did they beat us in the trenches? Yeah, they probably beat us a little bit, but the trenches ain't the whole game. The whole game, it's the blockbuster plays that decide outcomes. So I think Coach Day actually called a really solid game. A very,
Yeah.
I mean, like a very, very solid game. And I think Matt Patricia called it a very good game as well. So they're just plays that happens that are just hard to win games when you throw a pick six. It's I'd like to see the stats on that, but very, very hard to do. So
Yeah.
yeah, I have no
No.
complaints, but I think the reaction to those games are just ridiculous. Just absolutely ridiculous in my personal
Yeah.
opinion.
No, I agree. It's there's always going to be overreactions and the bad plays and the moments where we were dominated
Did someone
in the.
commit?
Did they?
Devin said boom. So unless he's just like trolling me. So if you're trolling me,
Don't
Devin, I
be
will
trolling
never
right
forgive
now,
you.
Dev. Don't do that right now.
It's portal season, so
Oh,
anything's
Matt.
gonna
No,
happen,
Matty
you
P is
know?
returning. Matty P is returning. That was his
Oh, that's good.
message. So that is great. Breaking news. Do 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 do. Let me see if I can find a. Is that now, Dev? Is that something you just got from your source, or that was posted publicly so that I can pull it up on the screen? Tell me that much via text. Let me see. I'm texting my dude now just to see. But yeah. Um, okay. Yeah. So it's that it'll be made public soon. Hasn't been made public. So thank you, Dev, for that. Because that was another thing that was kind of looming out there of the uncertainty in his IG post and whatever. But that's great news to hear. So yeah, I actually lost my train of thought, but I'm glad that came through because that's great news. Oh yeah, that's what I was saying. I was responding to you, and I'll make it quick. So yeah, the bad plays will get magnified in the loss. We adjusted well in the second half against Miami in the trenches and played really well. Ran the ball down their throat, protected a little better, and whatnot. So the totality of the game, we fared well. But there were some moments where it was like, man, we are getting beat up. But we did make some adjustments. And Carson Beck, as a leader, did some great things, man. They just beat us. We made too many mistakes. So we can move on to the next super chat. Geo, thanks for the 5. I love my Buckeye Nation family, but some of them are just ridiculous with the incessant doom and gloom. They act like we're perennial losers, shaking my head. Yes, true. We just kind of talked about that, Geo. You're correct. And that's what's annoying and exhausting because it's not logical, it's emotional. And again, other fan bases that I talk to, they as they peer into our circle, they just be like, "What do you, huh?" Like, I wish we had your consistency. Like, what are you whining about? Again, having some questions and concerns, and like, you know what? I hope we can do this. We need to make sure. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the next level. Everything is negative. Everything is doom and gloom. We're about to fall off. It's a wrap. All this other stuff. Like, that mindset is ridiculous, Funky.
Yeah, you're totally right. I mean, we talked about it so much, but yeah, we gotta be more positive for how good we are. Our fans are just the most negative fans ever. So
Yeah.
it's just and of course they're gonna claim victory when like whatever happens, you know?
Yeah.
It's oh wow, we lost a game. Oh, we didn't win the natty this year. Oh, we missed out on said player. We can't keep doing this. It's like
Right.
whatever. It's like yes, Ohio State's probably gonna win a natty every 5 years if we're lucky. Yes, that's very true. 4 out of the 5 years, we're probably not going to win a natty. And hey, with this new schedule, we might even miss the playoffs a year, B. It might just happen. So, like, if it happens one time in the last 20 years where we lose a third game, then, oh, I told you so, blah, blah, blah. So it's just ridiculous. It's like they're, for the one time we win a natty, then they're like, oh, see, they listened to me and I can finally be happy now for 2 weeks. And then they go instantly into whatever. Oh, instantly to, oh, we're going 8-4 next year and blah 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 blah. So it's just oh my god, it's tiring. I'm getting tired thinking about it.
Yep. So am I, but it is what it is. You know, I'll just say I'll end it with this with this part is that with this whole back and forth debate, it's like I feel like when you really examine it, we have the facts on our side as far as should this fan base be doom and gloomy or should we be more positive based off of the track record of this school and what we've done. And so I think the facts are on our side. Mike Sturdy, thanks for the 10. Watched the show for a few years. I wondered this summer what would happen with the changes. B Moses stepped right in and not only stepped up but improved the show. Just want to show love when it's due. Mike, I appreciate it, man, for that compliment. Listen, definitely. How can I put it? I'm still honored and humbled that I was even able to step in on this platform and do this show. And Buckeye Scoop, as I went live on my Facebook page last night for the first time in months, and just hollered at the people. And I was saying the same thing, like, man, Buckeye Scoop has embraced me and has shown me love. They provided me with an opportunity to be on a platform even before I was on this show, even with Funky, before anybody did. And I've been in the circles. I've been on the grind for a while, and people knew who I was, but did not provide the same opportunity. And no hate, but I'm saying I appreciate the Scoop for allowing me to do it. You got anything on that, Funky?
Yeah, I mean, we appreciate we yeah very much appreciate everyone who watches the show, and we're very happy that you're able to step in, B. So good to be back with you, and good to have you part of our channel. We're coming up on 2 year. Is this year 2 coming up in July? So like we're
Um,
like year 1.5 right now.
about 1.5, because we did a year,
Yeah,
and then it's been about a little over 6 months with
and we
Nevada.
started in July, or did we start August? We started. I think the first show we ever did was when the like original NOA came out for the Michigan thing. So whatever
Yes,
that was, August
that was
something.
it.
That was
Was it June or July? It was June or
it.
July.
It was. I think it was August. I think it was
Was it
August.
August? Okay, okay,
We start talking about it in July though. But yeah, okay. But yeah,
yeah.
that's off topic.
No, you're good. You're good. No, but yeah, time flies, man. But again, thank you for the kind words, Mike, and I appreciate you watching, for sure. Gio did. Thanks for the 5. Like my Scoop family member Buckeye Chuck mentioned, Brock Boyd is an elite wide receiver prospect. We have talent at wide receiver. Relax. Yeah, he's nice. He's nice. It's just the truth. I know Heartline loved them. I know Devin Jordan loves them. I know that for a fact. And so, I mean, he's just really good, and I think he's definitely slept on. What you think about Boyd? I know you mentioned him earlier, but what do you personally think about Boyd, Funky?
Yeah, I mean, from what I've watched and his just purely off statistics as well, he's been an elite level. Played wide receiver at an elite level at an elite school, and he has good, very good track speed. Not legend bay track speed, but very, very good track speed. So, yeah. So and he's probably the third best wide receiver in our class. So and only 3 play B. So if those 3 guys pan out, then we'll have a wide receivers for the next 3-4 years easily. It just yeah,
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah, yeah. He has good ball skills too. Like he'll go up and pluck. I mean, like he seems very polished already. I like his game a lot. All right. Gio did. Thanks for the 2. One losing season since 1997, and that was 2011, which was Tackgate year. Think about that. The only reason is because of Tackgate. Shaking my head. Great point. Thank you, Gio did. What you got, Funk?
Exactly. That's literally I mean, you could even go we even had like I said, we only had 3 losses since about 2011, you know? I mean, wait, is that math right? No, I think the last yes, no, literally 2011 is the last time where we had 3 losses in a single year, B.
Yeah.
Not not
Yeah.
not just yeah, not just 4 or 5, or not just
Right.
a winning season, not a 6-7 season or 5 and whatever. Last time we had 3 losses. That means every year since then we've won at least 11 games. So
Yeah.
people who complain are just, well, I mean, literally like just genuinely miserable people. I mean, just that's what it comes down to. They live in a la la land of real or like fake reality where they always have to be miserable about something, and it's oh, it's the athletic director. And that was funny when everything was going right and they couldn't yell at, Justin Fry anymore, even though
Right.
we'd love to have Justin Fry back on the roster, by the way. I mean, Justin Fry, absolute stud. Uh, but yeah, then they start yelling at the AD, and I'm sure next is the president, and they get mad at us for Ohio State losing. Like somehow I could have predicted a 10-point underdog to upset Ohio State, but uh, life goes on.
Yeah, no, you're right. There always has to be a whipping boy. I know Nevada has said that there's always going to be a whipping boy. There's always going to be somebody to attack and blame, even if it's not justified. But it is what it is. Jay Coburn, thanks for the 4.99. You all are killing it on this show. Very optimistic about next year. God bless OH Funky.
Yo,
Yeah, thank you, Jay. We definitely appreciate you and the listen. Of course, when it comes to things like this, you're going to get people who appreciate you, some people who just flat out hate you, and so I will say the love definitely overwhelms the haters that we do have, and I appreciate that, Jay. Anything on that, Funky?
I appreciate you, Jay. And as B says, yeah, the love 100% outweighs the haters. So I very, very much appreciate your support. And I'm very optimistic as well. Super optimistic as I am most years, but especially next year with Julian Sane returning and Jeremiah Smith's, last year with us his junior year.
Yep. All right, Gio did thanks for the two. NIL money is not monopoly money. There is a limit. Shaking my head exactly. And again, it's just we are here to try to provide facts, perspective, insight, balance, just all of that. Good information, but just level headedness. You know what I'm saying? And so again, if we knew something was really bad, we would tell you just flat out. But we're gonna keep it real with y'all. Sean Crucker, thanks for the 5. B, I know the doom and gloom gets on your nerves, so I would advise to stay off Twitter and do not do the show when Chaz Coleman inevitably goes to LSU. You've been on one lately, Sean. You have been on one lately, sir. But for one, I actually do stay off Twitter. I'm not on Twitter as much for that very reason, because to me, Twitter, out of all the platforms, I've said this before, has the most goofies, the most keyboard warriors, the talk slick, run their mouth, they would never say it in your face type of dudes on Twitter. It's just a cesspool with that, and it's just it's the worst platform in my opinion. It's debatable, so I'm not on there as much, even though I've been trying to. It's a balance because I want to try to be more active to be on there more, but I don't like being on there that much. So also, we'll see on Chaz Coleman, brother. We'll see. But as of right now, we have no reason to suggest that he's not going to be a Buckeye. What you got, Funky?
Yeah, I mean you nailed that, B. And yeah, I mean if you want negativity, if you want to find reasons to be upset, download the Twitter app, guys. Download the Twitter app. Don't watch our show. Download the Twitter app if you want to be upset. Because not that we're gonna be, sunshine pumping, as I'm sure people accuse us of all the time. But yeah, I mean we'll be critical when we need to be critical. But so far we have zero reasons to be critical. But like I literally talked to B post show about this. If Ohio State at the end of this portal season, we lose Bo Jackson and lose said player and lose this player and don't get players, I'll be the first one to say, wow, we did a poor job in the portal this year and this staff needs to be reevaluated and we got to reevaluate how we do our roster. But as of right now, just relax, and just let it pan out. But we will, if it's need to be, I know me and B will be critical, but so far there's really nothing to be critical about because I
Yeah,
mean, there's just really nothing to be critical about right now. That's nothing more
yeah.
needs to be said.
Period. It just, I mean, that's it. That's it. So, and I'm thankful and grateful that it's not. You know what I'm saying? So, I just because I'm going to be honest and real with you, regardless. If I'm feeling a type of way and I thought it through, like you know what, this is not just emotion. This is like logical, and this doesn't make sense at all. As I think it through, I'm going to tell you. And so, but again, we're just so blessed with having, you know, all things considered, a pretty solid situation. when you really think it through. So anyway, Austin, thanks for the 199. Are the Bo Jackson portal rumors true? So let's just get straight to it. So apparently, Berm had a comment about, you know, negotiating with Bo Jackson and, his payday, his increase, and, maybe some slight concern that they couldn't get there. That's what's being put out there. Okay. That's out there. Everyone knows that's kind of the origin of it. So other than that, his opinion and what he's said, there's nothing more like, oh, Bo Jackson has his foot out the door. There's nothing like that. That's just, that's the origin of it. So at this moment, we're not hearing anything from our sources that say, ooh, Bo Jackson is on the chopping block, or he might not. Nothing like that. Would you agree, Funk?
Yep, I agree. I mean, I'd be absolutely shocked if Bo Jackson left, but
Right.
of course we got to be feared. Just like Jeremiah Smith's leaving. Is Jeremiah Smith leaving? B? Is he
Bro.
leaving?
See, and that's a great example. That right there, people were eating that up and taking it seriously, and we never batted an eye and never entertained it because it was foolishness.
Yeah,
So
real people said this. B. Real people said there's
yeah,
rumors saying Jeremiah Smith's transferring. There's
listen, I
rumors.
had
Oh,
people
oh.
inboxing me about it. But again, I know everybody doesn't follow this like we do, so I'm not going to be so hard on everybody. Like, God bless you for those who, like, they literally come to us for information, and it's like an innocent thing. Like, hey, I saw this on my timeline. They don't know who to trust. It's like, okay,
True.
cool. But for those who should know better, I'm talking to you. The people who should know better, come on, you can't be gullible. Or you can't you shouldn't, I should say, push stuff that is just goofy just for whatever reason. So I'll just end it with that. So
Yep.
good
Some
point.
people need. Some people want. Some people do it for clicks. I guess they're okay fear mongering for clicks, which is whatever.
Yeah.
On to the next.
Yep. All right. Gio did thanks for the 5. We use the portal to enhance our roster, not build it like IU is doing. Big difference. Yeah. We've talked about this. Because people keep bringing up Signetti and what they're doing. They're killing us in the portal. Okay, but they literally have to replace every starter almost, if not every starter. It's just not the same. So it's like, again, it's nuance and different things like that people are just turning a blind eye to so they can dive into their freak out. What you got, Funk?
I mean, you're totally right. But we also have to admit this, and we could both admit this. Indiana is really good. Indiana is super legit. Indiana for the next 10 years is going to be, I mean, dare to say, like, I mean, they'll be at our level. They will be. I mean, they absolutely will be. They'll be in those 3 to 4 games we play that were like, wow, that team could beat us. Like how we look at Michigan and how we used to look at Penn State and how we look at those teams, and we're like, yeah, any given year they can give us a good run for our money. And I wouldn't even be shocked if we're underdogs going into Bloomington next year. So I know it's weird to say that, but I'd be shocked if Indiana didn't win the national championship this year. I would be. So
Yeah.
maybe that's hard for some people to realize, but they're a real football team, super good. So yeah, they're gonna get some guys over us. That's just gonna happen. Just like whatever, just like Bama gets guys over us and Georgia does. They're in that same bubble. And again, I shouldn't say at the same level as us, but you know what I mean. I
Yeah.
think we're above them, but they're in that same bubble. They're in that same box, I'll say.
Yeah. Yeah. And I do think Indiana is going to win this year. And I said it a few shows ago, like, out of all the insufferable fan bases, which unfortunately some of their fans have been insufferable, which was surprising to me. To me, it's the lesser of the evils left for them to win. And I won't go into that further, but they'll probably win, and I'm picking them to win at this point. And I guess I would prefer them to win at this point. All right, what we got next? James Lessick, thanks for the 499. Great job, both of you. Keep pushing that inside info. Was at the game in Dallas. You guys are right on. Thank you, James. Appreciate you. Anything on that, Funky?
I was there too, James. So you're not alone. Not alone.
Yep. I was not there, and I was regretting it at first, but now I'm perfectly fine with me not being there in hindsight, because that was rough. Toledo Geo, thanks for the 2. B Moses, please tell me you know who Mr. Garvey is now. So let me bring some clarity, Toledo. So I know the confusion was I didn't get the quote. I knew the character, the substitute teacher, the A Aaron, the A Aaron. Like I know that bit. I just didn't know that quote within that bit. If you would have said A Aaron, I would have got it immediately. But yes, I do know the character, Mr. Garvey. Are you familiar with that Funky, that whole skit from Key and Peele?
Literally be like not at all. I'm sorry.
Oh, they
Like
about to be mad at
is
you.
yeah, not I know Nevada probably would be, but
Yeah,
I'm a
he
little
is.
not as cultured as you guys are in terms of that stuff.
Yeah, it's funny. It's funny. You just go if you're bored and you want to just blow off steam, go to YouTube or IG and go down a Key and Peele rabbit hole, and you'll enjoy it for sure. Geo did thanks for the 2 3-year $9 million deal for Matty P. That's what's being said. Yeah, whatever. Get that boy signed. Get him signed again, and I think that would be absolutely amazing because
That
again,
just by the way, that's just a Twitter rumor pretty much, but
yeah,
that's absolutely probably around what Ohio State's offering them, and it's about what I've been hearing. Like,
yeah,
it's over 3 million multi-year deal, and I definitely expect him to stay, by the way, because you know what, like Urb Urban had a rule. Sorry, I cut you off, B totally there. I'm sorry.
are you good? Go ahead.
But Urban had a rule. If you didn't stay at Ohio State for 2 years unless you won a natty, then you're dead to him. So I'm sure they had this talk with Matty P, and I'm sure Matty P wants to stay in college football. And defensive coordinators are getting paid in the NFL not much more than 3 million. I think
Yeah,
this would make Matty P like a top 10, coach, top 10 assistant coach, or at least on the defensive side in the NFL or college football. So it's not a money thing, and he likes the college game. I've always thought he's staying, and I still do. But hopefully he does get signed to this 3-year deal, even though a 3-year extension doesn't really mean anything. If you really think about it, B,
yeah,
right? Like it doesn't really mean anything because he doesn't have to stay for all 3 years.
sure.
But but Matty P should get anything he wants. He should get that deal, and we should have to pay his buyout if we want to get rid of him, which we won't. But I would be shocked if he doesn't move on either the year after this year or 2 years or whatever. He won't be here for too long, just like no coaches are.
Yep, I agree. Just yeah, you're right. The 3-year deal, he could still leave, but I would rather have him sign a 3-year deal. You know what I'm saying? To your
Oh,
point.
absolutely correct. Yeah.
All right. So, Will the Thrill, thanks for the 1999. I trust what we are doing. We have a solid foundation and we are filling holes. Um, TT, IU, A&M, yeah, Texas Tech, IU, A&M, etc. Build their teams through the portal. We use the portal as a supplement. That being said, we are still in on top guys as well. Yeah. I mean, and again, I'm trying to be. I go back and forth because I get it because we're learning a new system, and so I understand some of the angst and some of the confusion because again, this is not your grandpa's college football, and it's a wake up call, and so and we're in it real time. But I'm still pushing accountability for us adults, even in that the midst of the difficulty, still try to step back and just be logical and not just be so led by emotion and fear. That's all I'm asking as a fellow man, and woman, whatever, like fans, just try to be more sober minded when it comes to thinking this stuff through and think before you click send on your social media platform. What you got, Funky?
I mean, Ohio State is going to make a change too, though. Ohio State is going to be more aggressive in the portal in the years after this. Or sorry, how should I say this? More reliant on the portal in years after this. That's already been pretty widely reported, and that's kind of what everyone's been hearing, that they're going to slowly move away from high school recruiting and kind of go after 4 to 5 big fish and then hit the portal hard. Uh, and that's how they're going to start building the roster in the years in the future. So Ohio State's
Yeah,
adjusting, as we all are, and just teams pick a different way. IU was picking this way because they had no one. Kurt said he had a roster filled with bums, so he had to build it for the portal.
yeah,
A&M has to recruit with all these other teams in Texas for the top kids in Texas, and whatever. A&M doesn't do that good of a job with the portal, anyways. But Texas Tech, same as IU, they didn't have a roster, so they had to build through the portal. So you see Texas Tech slowly starting to build up in high school recruiting with what they're doing. So it'll be interesting how every team adjusts. But I assume most teams are going to start veering away from high school recruiting and going more into the portal. Just more teams more than others.
Yeah. Yep. Stilly Matt, thanks for the 199. We all love you, B Moses. Thank you. Love y'all too. Definitely appreciate y'all, like I said, man. For sure. Jeff Davis, thanks for becoming a Scoop Ultra member. Is what it looks like. Appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. And welcome aboard. Mark from Dub C, thanks for the 199. Last losing season before 2011 was 1988. I was 14. Yeah. I mean, it's just what it is, man. And this is why we say we're so spoiled, because it's literally impossible to win a national title every year. So if you can't win a national title every year, what's the second best thing? To be in contention and at a high level and elite and competing at a high level. And that's what we've been pretty much all our lives. And so, you know, that's the thing I lean on, is we've found a way, Funky, through the generations, through the decades, to always find our way through and maintain elite status. True blue blood. What you got?
And I'm 20, B. So we can do the math on this. I'm 20. That was 38 years ago. So that's almost double my life. So it's
Yeah,
almost double my life since the last time we've lost, lost more games than we've won in the regular season. Wait, how am I saying this? Yeah, it's almost, I mean, I've almost been born double since then or whatever. I just butchered that sentence. But you get what I'm saying. It's
I
been
get what you're saying.
38 years and I'm 20. I'm like gonna be like in the real job force soon. And the only time I've ever seen Ohio State lose was whatever in like 2011. And I don't even remember that. So it's been a long, long time. Ohio State's been good for that long. So I don't think people realize that. Like, because eventually we're gonna lose. We're gonna go 6-6 B. It's eventually gonna happen. I don't know when. I hope not soon, but eventually it's gonna happen. Maybe bees in the
Shut your
dirt,
mouth,
but
Funky. Shut up.
bee might be in whatever, in heaven, but I'll be still on the scoop. Hopefully not, maybe, but hopefully by then. Actually, hopefully it never happens, but but I'll be here to talk about it if it does be. I'll be here to talk about it.
Indeed, indeed. All right. Looks like the last super chat here. Derek 8688. Thanks for the 10. Appreciate your in-depth knowledge of the Buckeyes, Moses. My dad and I follow you mainly for any news on Buckeyes football. Keep it up, OH Funky.
Yo.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you. We appreciate you here at Buckeye Scoop. We have a blast. Regardless, listen, we're going to be here, win, lose, draw. If, occasionally something goes awry and doesn't come to pass, we still going to be here. We still going to do the show. It don't matter. Okay. And I purposely said don't matter before y'all start. I'm saying that because people were making, our rival fans were making fun of Jeremiah Smith's tweet when he said ain't going nowhere. And they all the English professors came in and try to listen, man. JJ Smith is from Dade County, Miami. That's just how they talk, man. He's sharp as they can get, intelligent. That's just how he talks. It's this slang factor. But the point is, we're gonna be here regardless, and so it's all good. Any last thoughts, Funky, before we hop off the podcast?
I mean, as the national championship winning quarterback for Ohio State, Cardell Jones says, "I ain't here for school. I'm here for football," or whatever that tweet was. But yeah, thanks for. I'll be here throughout the next 2 weeks as we cheer on Team USA in the World Championships, the U18 Women's Hockey World Championships. So go Team USA. They won 4-2 in their expedition game today versus Czech. Uh, Nevada's kid gave up 0 goals. She played 1 period and gave up 0 goals. So far, so good. Perfect. Expecting her to get the start in game one, I believe. I don't know. I forget who they play. I'll find it somewhere. But they play 3 games this week in the preliminary rounds, and then goes right into the playoffs. So they'll play 6 games. between Saturday and then the following Sunday with the gold medal game coming a week from Sunday. So go Team USA, going for gold this year. They got silver last year, and also Nevada's kid is going for the most ever wins in World Championship history. With one
Nice.
more win, she becomes the most winningest goalie in World
Oh,
Championship
oh,
history.
she got to get that.
So
She got to get
she's
that.
got to get it. She will. She'll. Oh yeah. Well, hopefully she gets it. I forget they play. It's either like Finland or Slovakia or Czech or some whatever, some Finnish European hockey school. But yeah. So if you have pastime, go look it up, and you can watch and go cheer on Team USA. But I'll be giving updates throughout the next couple of weeks, comes because I'll guarantee you this won't be the last time I'm on this podcast.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. It's funny. I'm laughing at Stilly Matt. Our next show should be OSU Insider. Every recruit has a greedy uncle. Portal Buzz.
Dude, seriously, yeah.
This is true. It's like, hey nephew, you tell him give you double. But Unc, I only have 4 catches. Nephew, do you want to get this bag or not, son? Double. So anyway, now that's funny. But anyway,
And then give me a 10% cut too, me. So
right. Give your Unc his cut now. But no, that's funny, man. We appreciate y'all. Love y'all per usual. We will see y'all next time. Go Bucks. Keep the faith, Buckeye
keep the
fans.
faith.
We're going to be okay. Trust me. We will be fine. Go Bucks. Peace.